ECSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app. Good morning, sports fans. Yes, we're back. Andrew McInnis and I, NHL Feeding Frenzy. Pre-Thanksgiving, 15 games on the slate, and what better person to talk to with such a big slate? I don't need Thanksgiving. I'm going to get fed right here. Let's bring him in. Mr. Andrew McInnis.
What's up, Andrew? No pressure there. Let's do it.
I have to ask you this. Congrats on the Stars last night. The Oilers opened up minus 150. Number was way off. Money comes flying in on Dallas. You were the smart guy that had the Stars 4-0, 4-1 after one. I think you had 8 shots on net. I tried to get the plus money. The smart plus money obviously was on the Stars. I tried to get cute and get the plus 117 with the Oilers to get to 4 or better. Stuck on 3. Thanks for playing 8-3 loss. What the hell is wrong with the Oilers?
And you know me, Jeff. I promise you, cross my heart, I was cheering for both of us to win. And it was right there. It was right there for both of us to be able to. I texted you afterwards or before the game and said, hey, we can both win here. It's unbelievable. Really, I had a lot of time to think about this last night. And look, I've defended Stuart Skinner in the past. I've defended the goaltending of the Oilers in the past. But there's management that cannot be defended, and I will not defend the Edmonton Oilers management. I mean, I'm at that age now, in my late 20s, where I'm looking at it and I'm saying to my friends, we're going to be talking at a bar in 15, 20 years, and we're going to be talking about what happened to this guy's career. What happened to that guy's career? And I think the Edmonton Oilers have costed Connor McDavid one Stanley Cup at least. They cost him one Stanley Cup. And sure, the Florida Panthers cost them the Stanley Cup twice because they were a really good team. But if you look at it, with the minimal changes they made to the roster every year, with refusing in back-to-back years to make a goaltending change, back-to-back years, it's so frustrating. I think that this management team has hurt the roster in a very big way. So, look, what's the deal with the Oilers? It's the same old story, minimal secondary scoring. Jack Roslovich, what a pickup. He's been the best pickup for the Oilers they've had in years. Scoring goals, getting points, getting assists, power play stuff. But other than that, Jeff, it doesn't matter if they score 4, 5, or 6 goals because they're going to give up 7, 8, or 9 goals anyway. And that's not a recipe for a playoff team. And you got to think there's a reason McDavid signed for only 2 years.
Well, having flashbacks of a couple of years ago, they were dead and buried. Then they went on this miraculous, 17-1 run. They were back in the picture. Back-to-back Stanley Cup losses. I think when I'll use the phrase resting on your laurels, the big fear was, shit, McDavid's going elsewhere. We're not going to get a cup. We're now going to get egg on our face. And the fact that he signed a 2-year extension, almost like they can breathe because they're going to sell out. They're going to have the McDavid's here. These guys, as you said, first 1 to 7, wins these games. There's no Grant Fuhr back there. They're just resting on their laurels. Hey, we got Connor for 2 more years. We'll make the playoffs. We'll find a way. Maybe we'll get hot. Then, hey, maybe we trade for a goalie.
Yeah. I mean, talking about Jordan Binnington right now for the Oilers. Where was that trade last year? No offense to Skinner. It's nothing personal against the guy, but it's more so about the defense. Stuart Skinner, if you put him on the Colorado Avalanche right now, I bet you he's an okay team. I bet you he's all right. You put him on the Tampa Bay Lightning right now, I bet you he's okay. But he's not good enough for the Edmonton Oilers. So it's it's a mixture of two different things: bad defense and bad goalie. Is Binnington the answer? Well, he's not really having a good year either. The good news is he knows how to play well in big games, in the playoffs, in the Four Nations, and hopefully the Olympics. So we'll see, Jeff. It's something that I'm hoping we see soon. We have yet to see any big trades this season so far. Obviously, it's nearing in the end of November. The December schedule is absolutely bonkers for a lot of teams because of the Olympics coming up in February. I think we'll see a few trades in early or mid-December. So watch out for that, but I'm curious to see what the Oilers do. As of right now, there's only one Canadian team in a playoff spot, and I was on Gabe's podcast on Sports Grid, and I talked about them having the best value. It was 40-1 to win the Stanley Cup, the Ottawa Senators. Only one team, albeit the Montreal Canadiens. Let's not get too crazy. They're only 1 or 2 points away, and the Bruins have played 3 or 4 games more than them. So, hey, maybe we can pass the Bruins and some of these teams down the road, but your Bruins are playing pretty good. But I think that for right now, the Maple Leafs and the Oilers, they're both in a very tricky situation.
Andrew, I pulled up I was going through some numbers this morning, and I thought it was a misprint. And again, I follow the market. I don't know second, third, fourth lines like you. I don't know where these guys went to middle school, never mind high school and college or prep school. I saw something and I was like, no, this can't be right. I just pulled it up. The Colorado Avalanche, 22 games this year. Winners of 9 in a row, by the way. 16-1 and 5. They have 5 overtime losses. Let me say that again. 16-1 in regulation. So, I don't bet regulation. I don't bet puck lines. But if I just, in the 22 damn games, if I just bet the Avs in regulation, if my math's correct, I'd 16-6, I'd be up 10 units.
Easy as that, right? It's crazy. Every game that they lose, they're still getting a point. They're still getting at least 1 point in these games that they're losing. It's unbelievable right now for this team. And one of the biggest differences, Jeff, between the Edmonton Oilers and the Avalanche is that they get good goaltending. Scott Wedgwood was just put in the testing pool for the Olympics, and he is now made eligible for one of the players that could make Team Canada. So now we all know Jordan Binnington's going there. It doesn't matter if he lets in 1 million goals during the regular season. He's earned his way because of the Four Nations and because of past tournaments. But you've got Logan Thompson, you've got Aiden Hill, you've got now Scott Wedgwood. I thought his even goalie partner, Blackwood, had a shot. I mean, there's multiple goalies across the league that have an opportunity to potentially make the team. But when they're getting great goaltending, and what's funny is everybody was saying that they made such a big mistake getting rid of Rantanen. This player, Martin Necas, he has been phenomenal. He has been unbelievable. And some people will tell you, Jeff, oh, well, you put anybody with Nathan McKinnon is going to be a good player. Not everybody can play with the best of the best. And this guy has been really, really good. So, the defense and the best part about this is that it's a salary cap here, not like anybody can say, oh, Colorado's more stacked or anything than Edmonton. No. They're not more. They literally just made better moves. They drafted better. They made better changes. Their fourth line is better. So I like what this Avalanche team is all about. Now, you're the market guy. I'm going to ask you, how do we approach this Avalanche team right now? Because I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I haven't been on them enough. I haven't released them enough. I haven't given team totals or puck lines or regulations enough. What do we do with them? Because I'm looking here from a prop perspective and thinking, oh my God, every game you could have taken these top players to get a goal or get a point or get an assist, and they would have done it.
Well, tonight, for instance, one of my spreadsheets has their team total over 4.5 at minus 165. So if you got over 4.5 against San Jose, You can get them at plus 145 because the other three spots has it over 3.5 minus 175, over 3.5 minus 166. So they're telling you they're going to score 4 today. So we've missed the boat there. 15 games on the slate. There's so many ways to go. And I always have in the back of my head the fact that there was only one game last night. There's 15 today. And then Friday, a huge, huge slate. The every other day here. The day before the U.S. Thanksgiving. You've already had your Thanksgiving in Toronto. In the back of your mind, do you have any thoughts the day before a Thanksgiving, a day before you go dark? They could be sluggish, or is this a drop the puck and let's have some fun?
I kind of do wonder that. Like, I used to think that it was the day after Thanksgiving. It was funny. I haven't watched too much of the new podcast with Brady and Matthew Kachuk yet, but it's good for the game. And they were talking about how some teams around Christmas time, you're not allowed to travel until the 26th or until a certain time on the 26th or early morning 27th. And he's like, oh man, you're going on the morning skate and all you can smell is beer. All you can smell, it smells like a brewery on the plane. Everybody's tired. Everybody's grumpy and they've had drinks and whatever. So I do think that, I used to think that would correlate to overs, teams coming off and being sloppy and things like that. But now, like you said, I'm actually looking towards overs before Thanksgiving versus after Thanksgiving. After Thanksgiving, it's I'm going to steal something from you here. It's, pass the puck around, sing kumbaya, and hang around for the first period. That's kind of where I'm looking post Thanksgiving. So maybe Friday, and let's not forget Friday. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Jeff. I'm looking at my score app here right now. We've got some afternoon games as well. So that might tell us all we have to know. We got a 1 p.m., we got a 2 p.m., 4 p.m., or I guess that's my time, so 12 and 3. But that might be the time to look towards the unders. So I'll tell you what, here's one that I like here today, and this is the system play. We've got no Hellebuck for the Winnipeg Jets. Comrie has looked okay so far. I've heard it might be Comrie. I've also heard we might get the third stringer, which could be even more interesting. The first period over is live in that game. And I'm going to tell you, we're seeing a 6.5 and a 6 at some spots for a reason now. The books see this number and they say, okay, it's not Hellebuck. It's going to make a big difference. And I like to be contrarian a lot when it comes to the NHL. But when it comes down to it, Comrie is going to be a big step down from Connor Hellebuck. He just really is. So over 1.5 goals first period. It's Charlie Lindgren for the Capitals. It's not Logan Thompson. 889 save percentage. We'll take that. Minus 130, 135 is the price. So it's getting up there for our first period overs. But I got to say, Jeff, I've had more success. You know how me and you with the team totals have had certain price ranges we've liked more than others? Minus 115s, 120s. I haven't done well with the first period. You kind of have to be willing to lay it a little bit with these first period overs. You get to the 125, you get to the 130, and those cash your tickets for you. So that's one system play I can get behind.
Well, I always say once you get to that breaking point, is it 30, 35? Is it 40? The risk button is your best friend, guys. Always use the risk button. You're risking less, you're profiting a little less. But at the end of the day, if it is a loss, you're only losing what you're comfortable as your usual unit size there. 15 games, pucks, props, and thoughts. I'm going to just turn it over to you.
I don't even know where to start. Jeff. I'm overwhelmed here looking at the board. I'm overwhelmed. Blues and Devils. I'm going to take a shot with the under here. Right now, this Blues team, their offense has been inexistent. And I know I mentioned overs the day before Thanksgiving, but right now, this offense has been so slow. They haven't been able to create chances, and their defense has been getting a little bit better. Now, the Devils, still without Jack Hughes, still without some key players. They had a road trip to start without Hughes. You come back home now, you play well. Their last one against Detroit. I like under here. It's 5.5 for a reason. Do lean towards the Devils side. Not sure if I want to lay that price. Going to go to a later game here. This is Ottawa versus Vegas. This is kind of one that's a little bit weirder for me. 5.5's the total, minus 120 to the over. This will be a client play for my subscribers. I'm not picking a team, Jeff, for the team total. I'm just looking at both teams. Hopefully some team gets us to 4. Hopefully we see a 4-2 or a 4-3. We've yet to see an offensive explosion type game on this road trip for the Ottawa Senators. And what's interesting about this game is that this isn't just a road trip kind of situational spot for one team. It's kind of a spot for both teams. You've had the Golden Knights were on the road against the Mammoth. Tell me if you've ever heard of this before. On the road against the Mammoth, then they played the Ducks, then they went on the road against the Mammoth again. I don't think I've ever heard of playing the same team on the road 2 out of your last 3. I've heard of home and homes before, but I don't know if I ever heard of playing the same team on the road that many times. So that's kind of weird. And then the Senators, of course, they played the Kings, or they played the Ducks, the Sharks, and the Kings. And so we've seen 3-2, 3-2, and 2-1. We've yet to see an over in the Ottawa Senators so far. Looking for one in this one, over 5.5, Golden Knights and Senators.
Shout out to my friend, Mr. Kenny Magner. Happy Thanksgiving to J-Dog and ECSR. Del Mar Turf Festival this weekend. Sack needs to pay for the pies. Over on the Caps. First period is. Kenny, God bless you. Hug the family for me. Hopefully you're going to sneak into a fantasy football or 2 playoff. For me, I'm going to call it a one-off year. I need a miracle, but who knows? Again, great job. Thank you, Kenny, so much for all the love and support through all the years that we've had here. I'm going to close out here. Bruins and Islanders, seems like they play every other day. I mean, it just...
Third time of the year.
I'm looking at the line here. Let me get the update. Actually, I can move back over to here. The updated line on that game here. Islanders opened at 169. Right now at the Circle 162. You can get the Bruins at a plus 145. The under-over opened at 6.5. Now a flat 6 minus 15 cents at Circa. If I like the Islanders tonight, I can get the Islanders team total over 3.5 plus 120. Am I crazy to be looking there?
The only thing is, Jeff, I'm a little bit concerned here with this Bruins team that they're going to be so locked in because they've had such a good run, and then their road trip just was not great whatsoever. I think if you like the Islanders, you like the full game over. I think you're going to get goals in this game. I think the Bruins are going to show up and give you a good effort. If you like the Islanders team total, you play it safer with the full game over. Could be wrong. The price is in that price range that you and I like. Maybe we're starting to see that regression from this Bruins team, but looking at the expected goals last 5 games, it's still been there for the Bruins, but 3-1 loss, 2-1 win, 3-1 loss. This team is what they've gone under in 4 of the last 5 games. Maybe the offense is cooling down, but I'm looking forward to this spot for the Bruins. I kind of lean on their side here.
The Bruins offense, it's called Morgan Geeky. That's what it's called.
Player.
That's who their offense is.
Yep. One player.
I don't get it. Scroller's been going the whole time. Ed McGinnis picks at Wager Talk, WT.buzz/A&M. What do you got behind the paywall?
Yeah, Jeff, looking forward to a really good run here. Thanksgiving, $69. We've got 1 week pass, NFL player props, NFL sides, and of course, NHL plays. And of course, the man on that side of the screen helped me out with my college basketball. We'll keep on trying to bring those winners in. And we had a nice first half winner last night, so we'll keep trying to do that. But you guys can get in contact with me, of course, on Twitter at McGinnis Picks and WT.buzz/AM. So, it's been a game of runs for me, Jeff. I have one huge week and then a little bit of a duck for a couple days and then a big bounce back again. So it's a marathon. It's not about one day. It's about people dipping in for the full 30 days. So thanks so much. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family and all the viewers. I'll talk to you later.
All right, you take care. Go follow Andrew McInnis, of course, at McGinnis Picks at Wager Talk, WT.buzz/A&M. Shout out to Nebraska, knows some stuff. And, of course, Kenny Magner. I'll be back in a few minutes with Matt Grissom. We're going to talk some SEC football. We're going to talk some Westgate Superbook college football card. Talk about Jim Mora, who's heading off to greener and colder pastures at Colorado State. Stay tuned.